Hi everyone, it's Michelle from Country Morning Creations, and I'm here today with my Day 8 tutorial for the 12 Days of Junk Journal gift tutorials. It is embellished postcards as journal cards. To explain a little bit, we're now halfway through this, we're more than halfway through this series, and I guess I should have started out explaining. This is a list of tutorials, a list of people who are doing tutorials through the Friendly Junk Journal People Facebook group. So if you haven't joined that group, I recommend them. I'm also using a printable that I also got from that group that is called Cheery Pastels by Linda Israel and Norella Bouchard, who's also known as Calico Collage. So what I'm doing is I actually didn't have any postcards. I don't know why, I just don't have postcards. So I printed these two out. These are from a traveler's notebook kit called Rosewood Cottage by Porch Swing Designs, Mary Lou over there. And I printed these out, but I decided not to use them for this particular tutorial because I want to keep using that Cheery Pastels, and there was one piece that was perfect that is the same size as a postcard. So what I did, I've already done a little bit of prep work. I'm doing a triple layer, so I started with, I have coffee dyed large index cards, and then I also grabbed some pages and my postcards. So the base layer is your index card flipped over. So when somebody uses this as a journaling card, there's already lines on there. They also make these without it. You could also cut your base layer out of coffee dyed, heavier paper of any kind, whatever. But I like that it reinforces it. And I used a pair of scissors that I set down. Oh, there they are. These were a pair of scissors that I got in a set. There were 12 of them, and I got them at Hobby Lobby a long time ago. They have different edges, and so I simply cut around the book page and cut around this piece, and then I inked up all my edges with gathered twigs. You can tell that I set this on top of this all the time, but this is the Gathered Twigs Distress Oxide by Ranger Ink. It's a Tim Holtz one. I love, love, love that. And then I simply took a glue stick and glued all my layers together. So I wanted to get all that done in advance because you really probably don't want to sit there and watch me ink around things and cut things out and do all that stuff. So the next thing to do is we need to embellish all of this. And I had a couple of ideas. And the way usually this works is I start filming and then figure out what I'm going to do. Somebody gave me these and I don't remember who it was. Or maybe these were from a set I got from the dollar store. Anyway, these are the smaller size doilies that I've simply coffee dyed. I think that's really pretty. I have a bunch of ribbons and trims here. I have kind of this trim as well. That's pretty, and that kind of picks up some of the colors. And so I've got other ribbons and trims. So I think what I'm going to do, I love this idea of cutting. I like to fold these doilies into quarters and use just the quarters or the halves. So I'm simply going to fold this doily in half like this. And then I'm going to cut that in half. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to knock you a little bit. And then I'm going to put this down in this corner. So I only want another quarter. I'm going to leave that other part of the doily whole. But I used to not like doilies. So doilies are definitely one of those things you either love them or you don't. And you may change your mind, and that's all good. You can change your mind later and not worry about it. So I was thinking about putting it all the way down here, but actually I like it there. So I'm going to grab a little bit of paper. What I do my tutorials on is this is a plastic poster board. So I love it. So if I get stuff on it, I can actually just erase it. I mean, basically it wipes clean with soap and water. So I love that. And I highly recommend something like this. I got mine, I think, at Hobby Lobby again. And it's just a plastic poster board that really, you know, it works great as just a great piece to work on. Oops, I actually glued this all the way down onto my paper. So I'm going to just stick this on the corner here and kind of, oops, pat that down. So these glues are water-based, but they're permanent. I use the Scotch permanent glue sticks. I love these glue sticks, and I buy them in a big set from Amazon. So I've got the doily here, and that looks pretty. I like that. But I would love to see us add some other pieces to this to kind of keep it more interesting. So this is really pretty. This again is a Hobby Lobby purchase, and I think this would look really pretty right along the side here. So I'm just going to add that. And one of the things that's, I mean, I'm not doing any sewing in this kit really, but I do have a sewing machine and I do love to sew. So one of the things you could do is actually stitch around the edges, and that would look really pretty. So for gluing this on, I traditionally like to use the Fabri-Tac. To me, the ribbon holds better with that. I'm sure that this glue stick would work fine, but just instead of taking any risks, I'm going to go with what I have, and I have Fabri-Tac, and I know it's going to glop all over me. Again, that's why I have glue all over everything. And I have watered this down a little bit with acetone, but it's still not playing nice, I guess I could say. So a lot of times I would simply stitch this down and leave the leaf part loose. But today I'm going to glue this, and I'm just gluing it right down the middle of this. If you want, maybe I'll just go back and put a little bit on these leaves as well, and just a little dot so that the leaves don't come up and it'll all hold. So we're going to just put this onto here. Yikes! This wants to roll back up. It comes in a roll. You may have noticed that. And we're going to just put this along the edge here. So part of what embellishing involves a lot of is just laying things down. You know, does this work? Does this not work? Do I like it? Do I not like it? So you just start laying things down and layering them all up. So there's that. Actually, I'm going to leave that off because I do want to add some color to this. I like that. Or maybe, I kind of feel like this is a little bit redundant unless we do a layer of maybe some lace. Where are my laces? Oh, this is one of my favorites too. I love something like that. Ooh, I have an idea. I may just grab a piece like this. Well, that's too big. Let me see if I have a smaller word saying on here. I don't think I do. No, I don't. Oh, maybe I'll cut this out. Nah, I think I'm thinking too hard. As usual, I'm way overthinking this whole thing. So what I think I'm going to do, I love to have like a layer of lace on there as well, and I'll show you why in a second. But I want to take some lace, I think, actually maybe I won't. For right now, I'm kind of liking this whole look, and I feel like I don't want to add too much to it. But what I am going to do is I want to embellish it with a wax stamp. And I recently bought wax stamps. I love these wax stamps. This has a lot of purple in it, So I'm actually going to see if I can grab some purple wax. I bought a set of wax stamps, and I was originally thinking I would use that pink, but I would love to use either a blue or a purple. So there's blue. Ooh, I like that. Okay, we're going to go with the blue instead of the purple. And wax stamps come in, you can get the wax either as a candle, or you can get it in like these chunks where you melt it in a little spoon and pour it out. Today I decided I have more options in these colors, and I got this on Amazon. So I'm simply going to, I have a lighter, and this just burns like a candle. Basically that's all you're doing is burning a candle. And once that burns up the wick, it's going to start dripping, and we're going to get a nice big drip pile here. And it looks like it would burn your wax, the wax might burn your paper, but it never does. It doesn't catch paper on fire. I've never known it to do that. And I'm trying to get this to really burn pretty quickly because the wax will cool down. Whoops, and I just put that out. This wax will cool down pretty quickly, and you won't get a good stamp. But if you keep dripping the wax over the top of it, it will. So I'm just going to kind of make a mess here of wax. It doesn't need to be really thick. That's the other thing. You don't need it to be really, really thick. You just need enough wax. Oops, I blew that out again. Okay, patience is virtue, and you know, and of course I'm using a lighter. You could use a match. I think my wick is burned down too much. All right, let's try this one more time. Oops. I'm going to try to get that off before it dries because I don't want wax up in the other parts of this. So if you just get a little bit of wax on it, don't worry, you can, but you can see how hard that's already gotten. So I'm going to keep holding this here and see if I can't get this wax to relight, this wick to relight. Oh, there we go. Now we're dripping all over the place. So I'm going to wipe these off. All right. So this is not working as well as I had hoped it would. I was hoping to demonstrate this to you, but I am going to show you what to do if your wax does get a little bit hard. So I'm going to try to get a little bit more wax on here. So be patient with me. We're going to try to get some of this wax down in here. Trying to burn some stuff. And some of you probably know how to do this better than I do. All right, so, oh shoot. Now the wax is dripping, right? All right, let that cool a second. And then I'm going to try to wipe this wax off. So what you can see is if you try to wipe it off too quickly, it will leave marks, but if you let it cool down a little bit. So now I have this nice pile of wax, but it's already starting to harden. So all I'm going to do is take this candle, or this, and kind of warm it all back up again. The key is to not get it so hot that it starts to run. So I'm going to just try to, and you don't want to burn your wax either. So once you get your wax going, I'm using a rose print, and I'm just going to kind of smoosh it around and squish it down, and then pull it back off. And there we have our rose print down here as well. And I like that idea, and you can see I got a little bit of extra wax here, and you can kind of pick that off. So anyway, you can embellish your postcards with so many other things. You've got different ribbons. You have all your different laces, so we could add some more lace to this. We could even go so far as to grab some word. I think I have some word things over here. Yep. So maybe let's do one last thing on this. And I'm going to see if I can grab a quote. Ooh, that's a good one. Let's see. Oh. The happiness of a man in this life does not consist in the absence, but in the mastery of his passions. That's a good one. This is a dictionary quote that says, reader, one who reads, one who examines something. And so that's a good one. Let's see if I have any other ones. These are all from Nick the Booksmith. Ooh, I like this one. Let's use this one. All right, so this one actually kind of goes with a lot of what is already on these. And this one says, hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. What I'm going to do, let's do one last little embellishment on here because I want to use this other lace that I love, love, love. And so I'm just going to cut this out. Now, I'm not going to ink the edges of this because I want to, I'm going to actually put lace around the edge of this so that this pops out a little bit. So I'm going to stick this up in this, whoops, let's turn it right side up. I'm going to stick this up in this corner and I'm going to layer it right over the top of all of this. And we're going to put it down like that. And then I want to use, where is that other piece of lace? There it is. Nope, that's not it. That's not it, but we could use that. Where is that piece of lace that I had? Oh, no, that's not it. I'd gotten out a spool of lace and now I can't find it. Wow, brain on, not working. So I'm going to use this one. And one of the things I'm going to show you is how to mitre your corners when you're using lace. So you're going to measure out your lace and we're going to mitre these corners so that this just looks like it is. And I'm going to leave this end just a little bit long because we're going to glue bits at a time. Oh wait, I just found the, this is what I was looking for. Not to worry, I'm going to use that. But this is one of my favorites. I love to use this to go around word quotes. And so I'm just going to measure this out real quickly. Oh, I don't need a glue stick because I will use my Fabri-Tac for this. And measure it out, and this will come down about to there. So that looks like about the right amount. And we're going to, I'm going to actually put the glue around the edge of this and not on the, actually on the lace so that it will go all the way around. So we're going to just lay that down. We're going to turn the corner here and maybe pull this down just a little bit. And the nice thing about Fabri-Tac is it gives you a little bit of time to work with your stuff before it actually glues and is done. So this is a little bit too big for what I wanted, but I'm going to make it work. I'm going to make it work. So I have that. And I'm going to trim this little extra piece off because that was more than what I needed. And I'm going to squish this up into here and squish this over into here and squish this down into here. Pull that out a little bit so we can still read it. So those are some more ways that you can embellish it, is to add some word sayings and do it that way. One of the things I don't like to do, because I usually do put journal cards into my journals, is I don't want to get them too thick this way. So I don't like to put big flowers or big layered embellishments on them. I like to kind of keep them flat. So now you have your embellished postcard, And there's still plenty of room to write on the back with this other card. So anyway, that is my embellished postcards tutorial. I hope you've liked it. Be sure to hit the subscribe button if you've enjoyed my videos. And also I want to encourage you to check out the other people who are doing these videos as well. I hope that in all of this, though, I have encouraged you to be creative today.